Tony Budding here with Katie Hogan, and we're going to talk today about the inferiority of women. So,
my favorite subject.
Yeah, in all seriousness, there is a lot of people talking about the complaint, really, that there's no women's weights on main site programming. And to me, that's the most ludicrous concept ever. Because, like, but you know, now going into the joke, right? So seriously, how inferior are you to me? And when we work out together and I do RX weights, how much less should you use?
Right. It's something we talked about a little bit, you and I, but it just does not seem like something that's really quantifiable. I mean, of course it is. There's always been those percentages that have gotten thrown around ever since. It sounds like ever since I've been doing CrossFit, probably even before then. But for me, in my gym and my training, we've never had a set percentage or amount of the men's weight that we should or should not do. I've tried and done many workouts as prescribed. I've scaled some. I've watched men scale as well.
Constantly. I mean, the number of men out there that are doing main site that do all of them as prescribed is pretty small, I'd imagine.
Yeah, definitely. There's some pretty crazy workouts out there.
Yeah, but I mean, think about like the difference between Rich Froning and me going and both doing RX weights, and between you and I going and both doing RX weights. You know, it's a ludicrous concept.
Yeah, I'd have to agree. I think that I understand where people are coming from. They kind of want a scale, a basis to set some of their women, whether they be competitive or just trying to be RX. But I think that's kind of where, you know, boxes and just individuals can start setting their own standards and, you know, start evaluating yourself as an athlete. And if, you know, say a workout like Nancy calls for a 95-pound overhead squat, is that something that you can do physically? And if so, how difficult is it going to be? And is it something that you want to challenge yourself with today? And if not, maybe the next day. And is 65 a challenge for you? Men, woman, child, you know?
Well, that's right. It's no different, right? So every guy, you know, if you're at a box, if you're at at any affiliate, right? Every single athlete, is that an appropriate weight for you, for today? What else have you been doing? Do you need to push the weight? Do you need to go to where you're going to be a little bit slower? Or do you need to be pushing the weight lighter so you can move faster? Because you know what? You don't like getting winded, right? And so it's like, you know, there are times where we would bring the weights down just because somebody didn't want to go that hard.
Yeah.
And
my trap would be usually choosing, you know, oh, someone says they want to do men's RX, and I'm down for that because then I know I can go slower.
Right.
I need to work speed, so arguably you should strip the bar and give me just a barbell and watch me puke.
Yeah.
So I think that it's going to be different things for different people, and I'd have to agree that there's no way to put a stamp or a percentage or an official number for each workout.
Yeah, and to go even further, so when we do the games, it's a competition.
Right.
And we have to set the workouts. We actually have to set up the workouts so that every person in every lane is doing exactly the same amount of work.
Right.
That's not true for training.
Correct.
Training is a different modality. You can use any workout as a competition, and yet you should be sort of competing in your workouts for the most part. You know, that's how you get the best intensity. But the reality is, every workout should be programmed for you.
Right.
And it's
whatever
like, okay,
stimulus you're going to go for that day.
It has to be.
Yeah,
has to be. And
completely
and
agree.
To think that women categorically should do less than men,
I think that's just going to trap us. I think that's going to stall the sport for women, for men,
ludicrous.
Everything. Yeah.
Think about how far the women have come in just the last 3 or 4 years.
Yeah.
You know, the performances. I think that the winning total in the 07 games was like it was 520 or something like that.
That sounds about right. Yeah.
And now, like the average for women is like what, 650?
Yeah, our gym, I would say that the top female athletes are all in the 6s, I would say. And I don't know how close some are getting to 700, but it's getting up there.
I know. And that was the winning total just 5 years ago.
Right.
So, you know, to think about, you know, keep going 5 more years, 10 more years.
Oh, yeah.
You know, there's going to be women cranking out sub-3, 95-pound Frans.
Oh, yeah. You can't put a ceiling on it. There's just no way.
No, even Diane, right? Like, do you remember when 225 was heavy for guys?
Yeah.
You know,
and now there's ladies that are doing it. The girls at my box did the last Diane as RX.
Yeah, in what?
With competitive times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like sub-5?
They were sub-10. I want to say the girls, Chris may have gotten sub-5. I don't remember. Becca was right there too.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, that's 45 handstands.
Yeah.
Oh, it is. And so it's like if we had gone from the beginning and said, you know, women never do the men's weights. They're always doing 165 or 155.
Right.
It's like, what a disservice it would be.
I agree.
I mean, so should we have women get 65% of the vote? You know, that when we're counting them up for elections, maybe you should start driving at 21. You know, it's like, what a ludicrous concept, right?
I'd have to agree. I think people just, you know, maybe the way they're approaching it, they're not really thinking of it in those terms, and you kind of have to, you know, talk about it a little bit and really realize, what are we really saying here, you know?
Exactly. Ironically, they're saying, you know, you are an anti-feminist because you don't post women's weights. All you care about is the men. And it's the exact opposite.
Yeah,
I don't believe that women are inferior, and therefore I'm not going to say a woman's weight is less than a man's weight.